Hi, Karen with you today. Thank you so much for joining me. I have a scrapbook layout for Cut to You design team, and I'm using the gorgeous floral bouquet cut file for my layout today. I mean, look at how beautiful that is. I absolutely loved having a play with this cut file. And I've gone quite mixed metery for this one, and a little bit of clusters and lots of layers as well. And my photo, which I'll talk a little bit later, is of myself and my mum. So to create my background, I am using some Colour Blast paste. Now I am also going to show you today how I created the backing file part of the components for the leaves as well. So to do the background, I have gessoed my white cardstock, and I am just using a palette and just plonking it down. Plonking my paste down to be just surrounding the cut file. Really messy. I have gone a little messy with my background today, even though I guess that floral cut file could be quite subtle and quite feminine. I wanted it to be a little bit grungy as well at the same time. You'll see what I mean as we move forward. So to create the leaves, I've done this a couple of times recently, and I've really loved how they've worked out. I think it gives you an opportunity to, instead of using just, green patterned paper, it gives you an opportunity to create your own colors and variations and things like that. So that's what I've done for my leaves today. So to create, I'm using some white cardstock, which has no gesso. I'm not going to worry too much about that. I don't need gesso for this one. And I'm just using some Colour Blast mica powder here, both in the darker green, which is called Jungle, and then a minty green, which is called Cool Mint. And I also add in some blue as well from their ink sprays as well. Just to create just my own color green. It's a little bit acry, a little bit green, and I just spread that across the page, add a little bit more blue every once in a while, and then smushed it around with my brush. And then once it was dry, I then finished it off with covering it with some Sheer Shimmer Craft Spray in Sparkle, and hopefully you'll see that in the close-ups. It made just everything just sparkle. It was so perfect. It's a clear, sparkly spray, and it was just perfect. So back to my actual background now. I felt that it needed just a little bit more depth. So I've just added in a couple of extra tones of purple to the background. And to do that, I'm using the Colour Blast Shimmer Dust. Now, I'm not sure if you've ever ever purchased any shimmer dust. I love this stuff. When you get it, it comes in little tiny pots with lots of little powder, and the powder has you have no inkling as to what color the actual it's going to turn out to be. So it's like this special magic powder. Once you've sprayed some water on there, it's just beautiful. It gives beautiful depth. It's really saturated. And I've used Midnight in this situation. So it looks a little bit blue, but it's also got this purpley tone to it as well, which was perfect. So I did pop that around the page with some splatters, and I did do a little bit of packaging technique just to give some of those darker components across the color paste. And I also came back in and did some splatters with the Jungle as well, so the darker green component of the mica color as well. Just to give, nothing better than a splatter on a page. Love splatters. All right, so the cut file itself, I have popped up on some foam as well to give some dimension, and I knew that I wanted to add quite a lot of florals, so I wanted to be able to have somewhere where the florals could tuck in and sit under and then become really big clusters. Now I had my photo printed a couple of different sizes, so you would have, maybe you saw at the beginning I had a 6x4 and this 3x3. Yep, 3x3. And I decided to go with a 3x3 because it tucked beautifully into the ribbon, the edge component of the ribbon there on the left-hand side. And the really larger one really covered up too much of the cut file, and I didn't want to do that. So it just nestled in perfectly there. And I have backed my photo as well, just with some patterned paper as well. I should mention that the collection that I'm using today is also from Be Arty. It is called Moonshine, and it has lots of beautiful blues and purples and beautiful greens. And I thought this was perfect to go along with my photo today. Like I said, it's a photo of myself and my mum. This was taken at a family photo shoot that I had back in April, just prior to my 50th birthday party. I had everyone in the family come down for a photo shoot with Leanne Stamatolis Photography. And this, like I said, is a photo of me and my mum. It makes me laugh whenever I look at my photos from that afternoon as well, is that I didn't plan anything in advance in terms of what everyone was wearing. I was not fussy. I knew I was going to be sparkling in sequins and purple. And when we all came out of our hotel rooms and we all met each other, we all matched in some way, whether someone was wearing full black with some glitter or sequins. But Mum had this beautiful jacket on, which had these beautiful purple florals on it, which is why I went for this gorgeous cut file, the floral bouquet, and all these purpley blues of the flowers from this collection. So I did go a little crazy with my fussy cutting. I fussy cut out a heap of these beautiful florals from the collection, and I have taken a huge amount of layering on that right hand side. So I've popped up a lot of that onto some foam as well, just to give some really big depth of dimension. And you'll see that in the close-ups at the end, where I've really dug in there and taken it to another extreme. I always do a lot of embellishing, but I just loved how that cluster turned out, and I kept going. I couldn't stop. Then just to tone it down a little bit, I didn't make my clusters too big anywhere else. The one on the top left-hand side, I've tucked underneath as well, that lovely blue, and just added in a few of the purpley flowers as well. And I found that star was a part of one of the pattern papers as well. I mean, it's perfect, just sparkle. I mean, I couldn't help myself. I loved that heading. So that's a bit of my title as well today. I also fussy cut out some butterflies. We all know, if you've been watching me for a little while, I love, love, love butterflies. It's really rare for me not to have butterflies on a layout. So I fussy cut out some butterflies. I've made my cluster on the left-hand side of my photo quite small. I did want to still have, the look of having thirds. So I still wanted to have something on that left-hand side, but I felt that it was going to completely overtake the photo and the layout if I did add too much to that area. So I did tone myself down. I did stop myself from continuing to add lots and lots of layers. I just added there a little title and that butterfly, and there is also a little flower in there as well. Now with the flowers, I have also, like I mentioned, popped things up on foam, and I've also curled the leaves and the petals up with my fingers just to give that added dimension as well. And I'm really loving how this is turning out. I was so happy with this one in the end. I don't often create with purple, but I know once I do, I absolutely love what I get done when I do these with purple. Purple actually, as a completely unrelated side topic, was my favorite color when I was younger. I even had a purple bedroom, which was purple on the walls and the ceiling. And it was actually pretty much the color of the color paste. Oh my goodness, it was. Oh man, way flashback. All right, sorry, I'm completely babbling today. I have also made sure that I have stuck down my pieces with wet glue, because I have used lots of mixed media, and I have used gesso on the page as well. And I always find that gesso, you really need to stick things down with some wet glue. And for this one, I did use my Scotch tacky glue as well. I had a little bit of leftovers from my cutouts from making the leaves, so I just hand cut some more leaves out and added those onto the clusters as well, just to bring in a little bit more of that green tone that I put into the actual cut file. So as always, I will make sure I add in the description box below a link to the Cut to Use store, so you can find out all the information about getting one of these gorgeous cut files. And we also have a Facebook group as well, and we love it if you come and share what you're up to, and you will always see the new releases when Gwen puts them out as well. And we have a great old time in that little group as well, so come and join us there. I finished off the layout with just a little bit more splatters, but what I also did is I came back over with the sheer shimmer ink as well and completely put it everywhere, and it gave the entire layout a really big shimmery shiny piece. And to look at it in real life, I love how this turned out. It's a little hard to pick it up in the photos, but I hope I've given you a little bit of inspiration today with these close-ups. As always, I want to thank you so much for joining me today, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.